Witches really came into their own, however, during a frenzy of witch hunting in the 15th century, when European churchmen decided they had to be put down. Witch hunts, complete with burnings at the stake, crushing with heavy rocks and boulders, crucifixions and boiling in oil, continued in Europe for the better part of 300 years, and finally migrated to Puritan New England, in time for the famous Salem witch trials. All the witch hunts managed to accomplish, however, beyond the deaths of untold presumed witches, was to drive the practice of witchcraft firmly underground. Nowadays it is easier to be a witch, or at least to claim to be one. No one burns witches anymore, so it's easy enough, if desired, to operate openly. And many do. During the height of the Vietnam War, hundreds of witches and border spiritualists in South Texas openly set up shop to help young Mexican Americans avoid the draft, charging anywhere from a pair of chickens to as much as $500. Border witches put hexes on the Department of Defense, local draft boards, and anything else which would help keep the young men out of uniform. It didn't always work. After all, it takes a heap of hexing to hold off the entire U.S. Army. But some young men swore by it. Even if they were ultimately drafted, they made second visits to make sure they would get home safely. In Africa, a leading soccer team from Nairobi, Kenya, spent as much as $3,000 to make sure witches would help a winning season to continue, for fees of from $12 to $60 a crack. The team approached witches before each match to seek advice and forecasts. In one game, the Nairobi team came up against another team that wasn't above using witchcraft too. Officials from both teams stormed the stadium office and demanded that they be allowed to check the ball before game time to see if any charms had been placed on it.